People ask, what's the catch? Like, Brian, Ty, if you're talking about this, one, why isn't everybody doing it? My answer to that is simple. People are sheep. They take a long time to catch things.
Why doesn't anybody do anything? I remember the first time I tried to flip a house, I told my friends I'm going to make 35, 40 grand on my first flip. And they were like, if it's that easy, everybody would do it.
Yeah.
And I did it. And then that was my full-time job, was flipping houses. And I said, I just made 35 grand on my first flip. And they were shocked. But the reason not everybody does it is people just won't do it. I mean,
yeah, people are the simple reason people lazy and procrastinate and don't have common sense.
Yeah.
The other thing is that the other reason is that people, if you understand psychology, there's something called commitment consistency bias. If you look at Sigmund Freud, he talked about the ego, the id, the super, there's all these parts of our personality. And one of them is this story we tell about ourselves. So what happens is traditional real estate investors, they've built up their life. Their friends perceive them as like, I'm the guy who buys and flips properties. Yep. They watch the TV shows.
Yep.
They identify with that. When something new comes, people just blindly let it go by. I was reading the story about John D. Rockefeller, who became the richest man in the world. $600 billion in today's dollars. I mean, this guy had more money than Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Buffett, everybody combined were like juniors to him. And what he did, oil came out. Okay, oil was found in Western Pennsylvania. But back then, nothing ran on oil. There was no cars, no airplanes, no plastic. So people lit their houses with whale oil.
Yeah.
And there's kerosene. And kerosene was a byproduct of oil. So he started selling kerosene. Now, you would have think the whole world would have caught on, but no. People who already had their whale oil supplier.
Yeah. The big fat cats that are rich on whale oil.
They knew it. They're like, well, it's been good enough for the last 20 years. I'm going to keep lighting my house with candles and whale oil. And John D. Rockefeller said, no, I've got something better, petroleum. Then there was steam engines. And he was like, well, let's do combustible engines are going to be more powerful. Henry Ford. People are still like, nah, horse and buggy and all that. So there's always a window for Rockefeller, there was a window from, let's say, after the Civil War, 1870 to early 1900s, 20, 30 years, where nobody saw the trend.